All right. What episode is this now? 9?
No, I was an idiot last time, and it was episode 7, not 8.
So this is 8.
Yes.
All right. So this is part 8 of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. Welcome.
Jesus Christ.
My name is Gabby, and that's my friend Jobin over there.
I will leave the fucking game, motherfucker.
All right. Like so last time we did the top favorite JoJos.
Yeah, the heroes.
So now we will rank
is Jono a hero?
The Joe foes. What?
Is Jono a hero? He's more of like an anti-hero, right?
He's like kind of an anti-hero because he really just.
He's a fucking mafia. Yeah. Literally, I mean, the end of part 5 is literally like the fucking Godfather.
Yeah, like we know he commits tax fraud.
Lisa looks depressed as fuck opening the window.
Yeah, I know,
he
right?
Looks dead. He looks dead inside. It's like, motherfucker, like his entire team died, and now the fucking the new nigga is just like leading the entire mafia, and he's like a fucking like a lackey now. I'm sure he has something better than the position, but he's definitely a lackey. Actually, did Araki ever say if Trish got with him or Mista or Gianna?
It's all unimplied. It's like if you're thinking of a part that's ended, Araki just pretends it never happened and leaves you to just speculate.
It's about right. Yeah.
We can do a separate thing for
so many
side villains in their own part. Like
okay, I was gonna say side villains. There's so many fucking side villains. I don't even remember every side villain at this point.
Oh no, yeah, there's hundreds. All right, so main bad guys. So
top 7.
Part 8 has no villains, so 7 villains.
Okay.
At the bottom, my least favorite villain is Part 3 Dio because I just don't like him.
No reason?
He's just fucked for no reason. Never uses his vampire abilities. He doesn't really feel like Dio. Like you can tell he is Dio, but like he's not exactly the same.
He's got
as
the full evil intention, malice / I'm just gonna fuck your family.
And the scenes before he's revealed are very Dio.
Yeah.
But then when he's revealed, it's like, is this the guy you've been looking at this whole time? Like,
yeah.
Also, the Joestar blood thing, like, I'm not a fan of that.
My only problem with Dio overall in that part is because part 3 is the first part where Araki just forgot so much and retconned so much and fucked so much information up. It's my favorite part because the memes are amazing. Jotaro is obviously my favorite. Part 3 Jotaro is my favorite overall.
Yeah.
That's my favorite JoJo group together. And I just thought the story was amazing. It's obviously it's very particular because it's like they're on a quest. It's a very specific line. They're going after a very specific thing. Unlike, part 4 where they're kind of just chilling in a town. You can kind of just pick up anywhere in part 4 and it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Except for certain parts of Kira. But other than that, like they're kind of just existing. They don't really do much. So it's like I love and hate part 3 because of the Araki's decision making. Just bothers me sometimes, but
yeah. And so Dio as a character himself is great, but specifically part 3 Dio I was not a huge fan of. Wasn't there for very long.
Yeah.
I
feel like Kakyoin could have I think if Dio didn't have the time stop ability, Kakyoin could have watched this.
Kakyoin could have won because he would have withered him down with all the emerald splashes from the 20-meter radius. Like, would have been really good. 20-meter radius is a really powerful ability. Like, people don't.
It's crazy that he just threw in time. Like, he had pretty.
I know.
Standard,
it's suddenly like, oh yeah, I can stop time. Like,
he had pretty standard tarot card abilities, and then he just threw that in there. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, the reason I didn't like that is because every ability so far was interesting but beatable. But the only way to beat Time Stop was to get another Time Stop. That was it. Like, and that's why I didn't like it so much.
Jonah. But I will say though, I did like that. I did like the time thing then because it's at least original.
Yeah,
everything since then has been fucking time. Everything it's been time based, and I hate it. At least that was the original time. That's why I don't like part 3 Dio. It's just he's not very interesting. Blah blah blah. It's interesting part 1 Dio. So that, and then
his
6. The lipstick is just.
Yeah, I know you hate that. I mean, I don't really care because it's just JoJo.
It just makes no sense. Like, he just gained lipstick from evolving.
Obviously, you don't gain lipstick when you drink your old enemy's blood.
But he didn't drink. He used his fingers.
I know. He used his fingers. Even better.
He got like fucking tongue and tongue fingers.
Stop. But so Parsley, my sixth villain is
I'm gonna guess Poochie.
Diablo.
Diablo.
He's not in it for very long. He's very, very cool for when he is there. He's like, so they do the same thing with him and Dio, where it's like you see images, shadows of him doing things.
Yeah, and when he shows up, he's kind of a bitch.
Yeah, but they did the shadow versions of Diablo a lot better than they did the Shadow Dio, I think. He was much more threatening to me than Shadow Dio.
Yeah,
probably because I already know who Dio is.
Because they had more infrastructure in terms of the mafia shit.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
They could show
I like the big bad mafia boss.
They could show how people feared him, whereas Dio, Dio would kill anybody that wasn't on his team.
Exactly. It was like he wasn't feared because he just murdered everybody.
He wasn't feared because there was no one there, whereas
no one survived in an encounter with him. People. Like no one knew he existed. He just killed anyone.
I did like the Hannibal Easter egg.
Yeah.
On the Hitman shit, where they like put him in little slides. Oh, that was cool.
But yeah, he's cool. But there's just not much to say about Diablo. I don't like, once again, other time ability.
I do
like his character, like his he thinks that he's lucked by the universe favors him.
That just felt like Kira though. Like after Kira,
it does, and that's why he's
fucking part.
Kira.
He did the same thing.
Well, that's another reason I don't like Diablo, because he feels like a few.
I like his stand. The look
his
of his
stand is nice. King Crimson is very cool.
I think Kira has the best enemy stand look.
I don't like its look very much. I think it's a cool stand ability. Like it's
I think
more
it looks like a
abilities.
fucking freak alien.
It does look like a freak alien, and if you like that, you like it.
I mean, the world looks ugly as shit.
I don't like them.
Honestly, that should have the name. If he didn't have a time stop ability, Dive It Down should be that. Like, it's ridiculous.
But yeah, so there's not much for me to say about Diablo, because I just don't like him very much.
Yeah, he kind of sucks. I like the meme of him screaming, "What?" Partially what?
Whoa, whoa. Yeah, I love that one.
Alright, so 5.
Number 5 now. Yeah, is Funny Valentine, Part 7's villain, if you don't know. President of the United States.
I thought Poochie was the... Oh, 7.
That's Part 6. Actually, yeah, right. Poochie is number 5. By Funny Valentine. Poochie is rip-off Dio.
Yeah, Poochie sucks.
He is Dio's gay boyfriend.
Yeah.
And he's a priest.
But
he does accomplish his goal. And he has some really good bits of dialogue.
I mean, he's the only villain to win.
To actually succeed, yeah. And like
he's by far the most
nice
undeserved.
Lines. Some of the you ever just like read a line, or hear one in a movie or read one in a comic, you're like that was just badass kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I have a whole in one of my many subfolders of notes. I have a whole quotes tab.
Yeah, and Poochie is that villain. He's got some legendary lines. Like he verbally beats his enemies more. No, yeah, you wouldn't. But yeah, he's really cool. But the reason that I don't like him is because as far as his character goes, there's no difference between him and Dio, because he literally is just trying to complete Dio's goal. That's it. That's his whole purpose.
That's just doing what Dio
does.
He's
not doing anything on his own accord. He's doing it all for Dio and the way Dio.
He's like if Cool Ice was competent.
Exactly. If Cool Ice actually managed to, if Cool Ice was a little bit less of a follower and more was able to do his own thing. Because you asked me to, exactly.
Like that is disgusting.
Yeah, but so there's also no to say about Poochie, because he's just a rip-off Dio. But I love his lines, love his dialogue, like the way he speaks, his interaction with the cast, and the fact that he actually succeeded. So,
it was cool
my number 4 favorite
dark Jojo character that wasn't immediately destroyed.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Abdul. Is Abdul the only brown person in any part aside from Poochie? Like main brown person?
Good question. Yeah, he is.
Jeez.
No, well, Hermes is Mexican.
Oh, okay. I don't know much about Hermes.
She's cool.
Cool. Oh, yeah, it's a chick. I forgot. The name Hermes throws me off.
Yeah. It's Hermes, no H.
Okay.
That's why it's
Logan was saying Hermes with an H, so I was confused.
It's Hermes.
I haven't played enough into past the JoJo game to get there yet. Logan surpassed me because I haven't been able to play single player as much.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get further, but it's kind of rough.
But yeah, so then now my 4th favorite villain is Funny Valentine. I like Funny Valentine, President. He is
Funny Valentine's the president,
He's really nice. Yeah, Funny Valentine is the president.
Okay.
Of the United
States.
It's
still 1800s, correct?
Yes, he's the president of 1894, something like that. But
okay.
Very cool, and he's got a lot of characters. So man got destroyed because his wife and him weren't actually in love. His wife was a lesbian. And so he automatically hated his life. But he didn't hate the way his life was going, because he was president and he wanted to make the United States a better country, and he wanted to get the Corps Force to do it. But in the end, when Johnny beats him, you recognize that Flame Valentine was never a really bad person. People were just in his way.
How is he a villain if he's trying to?
He's not a villain. He's just the antagonist.
So ever since Part 6, the Iraqi's been afraid of making an actual villain.
No, because Flame Valentine was the actual villain. Like, he would have put Johnny down in a grave, fucking killed his ass as many times as he needed to.
Okay.
Like, he's just not, because Johnny wasn't exactly a good person either.
Yeah, Johnny's an asshole.
Like, he's the villain of the park, but he's not necessarily a horrible person. And when Johnny finally beats him, he like recognizes as he's done. He's like, wow, I didn't lose. I lost to a better man. Like,
Did like, fucking wash Diego?
Huh?
Did they just wash Diego like instantly?
Yes. Well, as soon as he had to fight Valentine.
All right.
Diego's a villain-ish, but he just gets paid, so he's not the main villain. He's just part of the race.
All right.
Yeah, but you recognize that even though he has the reasons for the things he's doing, he's still evil. Like, he's like a psychopath.
Oh, he's
like,
pure
this
evil,
is not the path you should take when you're doing these things. But you know enough to understand why he's doing it.
Yeah, you understand why he's doing what he does.
Exactly. And like, I forsake my humanity, Jojo. God tier line.
Oh no, it's God.
Amazing.
The manga
and his whole plan, like, he's really smart too. Killing
he's
the
not
Joe
a
Stark
retard
dad.
like the rest of them.
He's killing George to get the mansion.
George
and as soon as that
George
fails,
is a fucking idiot.
Oh, George is a dumbass. But as soon as that fails, like, he immediately has part 2 of his plan. He's like, well, shit, it's time. I have to get the stone mask on me.
Yeah, it's funny because Jonathan's the reason that Dio thought about the stone mask.
Exactly. He planned to kill Jonathan with it, and that was also a really cool thing to me because it looks just like a murder weapon, and then it turns out this mask makes fucking vampires.
Also, I want to point out, if the sun didn't come up at the right, if this is at any different season if this happened in any different season of like the fucking like sunrise sunset time.
Yeah, not the fucking equinox.
Nothing out like I don't think we would have half the jobs we have now.
No.
Dio would have fucking been murdered by a vampire. Then the vampire would have died, so there would have been no trace of anything.
And then nothing would have happened because Jonathan would have survived.
I doubt the Nazis would have gone to Santana. Maybe
they wouldn't have, because the only reason they knew about Santana was because the stone mask was something Speedwagon had found out about. So the Nazis traced it back to Mexico. So without the stone mask being a thing now, the Speedwagon Foundations were made.
Joseph would just be some punk motherfucker on the streets.
Joseph wouldn't be a punk motherfucker because Jonathan would still be alive.
Yeah, Joseph. Well, they would have gone to. Yeah, he wouldn't have been a punk motherfucker. He would have been on the streets. He probably would have born in America though.
He would have been born in America. And Jonathan would have been his dad and mom would still be alive.
I don't think he would have been born.
He wouldn't exist. He wouldn't exist because he wouldn't have had to save the baby. Yeah, Lisa wouldn't have had to been saved from the ship.
So we probably wouldn't have anybody at this.
So all of JoJo happened because the sun came up at exactly the right time to save Dale's life.
Because I mean, even then, like I couldn't even really say Jotaro because Jotaro wouldn't exist. But
because Holly wouldn't exist. Because Joseph wouldn't exist. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like
actually Joseph would exist.
Maybe
Joseph would.
Maybe. A version of him.
Wouldn't. I keep forgetting if Joseph is not
George would have.
Kid. If Joseph is
would have
Irina's
existed.
grandson, yeah. George would exist.
George would be destined to be useless, so we don't even know if George would find somebody.
Yeah, and then if he did find somebody, I mean, sure, it's entirely possible that fate could make him have him meet Lisa, because Lisa would still be in America.
But I mean, actually, wait, no. George probably would be the only George that wouldn't be useless, because
he wouldn't be at that point, because then he would learn Hama from Jonathan. Yeah. Wow, this is the best timeline. I was like,
this is the least amount of bloodshed.
Yeah, this is like the
none of the villains. Most of these villains would not exist.
Because the Pillar Moon still exist, and it's inevitable that they would wake up eventually, because that was their whole plan.
Eventually,
because remember in Caesar's backstory how his dad got zucked into the wall? Well, they've been doing that for centuries. They've just been zucking people into the wall over time to wake them up.
Yeah, but it's sort of taken them millions of years.
Long.
Look, your mic. Hello.
I unplugged it.
There you go.
But so anyway, back to the whole thing. Dio, when he turned into a vampire, that was godly. He's got all these cool things, and he does a lot of fucked up stuff, like making the mom meet her kid.
Yeah, and the fucking...
that was fucking disgusting. That was
pretty funny. And then I liked that scene. That was funny as shit.
Oh, I'm sure you loved it. Yeah, making the weird animal-human combination thing.
That was weird. Like the random. He had secret powers that he just refused to ever use again.
Yeah, so weird. But yeah, I like Dio. He's really cool. Lots of character. Cool. He's like the tragic villain. Even he's tragic, you understand why he's doing it, but you also recognize
he's like tragic villain that turned into an entity of pure evil.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, so second favorite villain is
I knew it. I knew your fucking list.
All right. So Kira is a god and probably the best written villain of all of JoJo. He's just so cool.
I would say he has the best use of his theme.
Yes.
It's only used for him.
And it only happens in the epic
moments. His theme is so low key that it works really well when he's just being a fucking freak bastard looking at one of his wrists,
licking hands
in the corner. Like it's off in the distance doing some weird shit. Little bits of it, and it works so fucking well. It was designed to be like that.
It's so low key. It's like done. Yeah,
and then it was designed based off his personality.
Like the music goes crazy when someone explodes.
It's designed off his personality.
Exactly.
I feel like a lot of them aren't designed like that.
Like Kira's in so key life, and it's something that you can get behind until you realize that he's a serial killer. Like,
oh yeah, I mean, Kira,
he wants to live this nice, quiet life, but he's an evil serial killer bastard who murders lots of people.
I mean, the hands.
Yeah, and like so you have his connections to the past with Remy. So you have Remy's connection, which then leads Remy leads Koichi and Rohan to start finding Kira, right?
Yeah, which is
but then they're not even the persons who find Kira because Shigechi's sandwich gets taken by the dog and he takes Kira's sandwich, which the bag has the hand in it.
Kira wouldn't. I really don't think Kira would have been found for a while.
He wouldn't for much longer because it would have been Rohan and Koichi trying to find Kira based off of Remy's word, which she doesn't know what he looks like.
Yeah, and there's a really big chance they would have just been fucking murdered.
Yeah, and because Kira probably would have found them out before they found him out and killed them.
Shigechi dying is what led them together.
Exactly. So Shigechi dies. Josuke and Okuyasu realize Shigechi's missing, and then they meet with Remy, who Remy tells them that I saw this man, I saw his soul leave, and I know that Kira killed him.
Also, I want to point out.
So now we have the manhunt for Kira, and I also love the fact that you think Kira's beaten when Jojo goes sicko mode on him.
Yeah.
But he manages to escape and change faces by killing off.
Only because Josuke's a fucking idiot.
Oh, of course. No, you could have pulled him back. But
could have pulled him back.
There's just a million things that lots of people.
And he could have saved her at least, because he did the same thing with that stupid, fucking, annoying cunt kid. I hate that motherfucker. I hate Hayato so fucking much.
Yeah, and also, it's almost sad because Kira, towards the end of the series, Shinobu is humanizing Kira. Like, he's turning into a person.
Yeah, he's becoming a person.
Kill him before
he didn't kill the woman at all.
And no, but that's like he didn't kill the woman, but he started to care about her. Like,
yeah, he did.
The scene where Stray Cat explodes the cactus, he shields Shinobu, and he's like, "Shinobu, are you okay?" And he stops himself. He's like, "What the fuck am I doing? I'm actually worried about someone else." He's like, "No, I can't be worried about someone else." But he is.
Honestly, if that kid wasn't such a pedophile, I think Kira would have been fine.
Kira would have turned into he would have actually loved this woman, and then but
then you're left with the guilt. Like, she went nuts.
Is it worth it? Like, does he deserve that second chance to be with Shinobu?
No, he doesn't deserve it, but it would have been a lot better for everybody else if he did.
Yeah, it would have been great for everybody else. But I don't know. It's like I love his character's awesome. He's got lots of.
None of them deserve shit at this point, to be honest.
No, they don't. So living like a cat as well. That was hilarious.
That was really like. You think the hand shit gets bad, and then he gets in the fucking bath with that little boy. He's like the door creaks. Mind if I join you? It looks like it's just this fucking 6 foot tall. I was watching that on my PS4. I turned Crunchyroll off. I refused to put that on my TV in case because there were people upstairs.
Anyone walked out,
if anyone came down here when I was watching that. Without any context, I would look like a disgusting, horrible human being.
So funny.
So I watched it on my phone just to get that shit off my screen. I took a break. I saw that shit. I was like, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to see this shit.
So fucking funny.
I saw that nasty, half-drawn
penis. Blows up the side of Hayato's head. I thought that was awesome.
That was cool. That was really cool.
Like, so look, the scene looked awesome too. Like Hayato's trying to run away. He grabbed him by his head and blew out the side of his head. That was pretty sick.
Yeah, I was really hoping he'd die. I wanted the kid dead.
Everyone but then Bites of Dust is a cool ability.
Did not
I wish it
want to
wasn't
see
time-based,
that
but whatever.
weird, disgusting penis that Araki drew.
Oh, he always does the little baby fucking penis.
That was so gross. I did not want to see that. And honestly, it was worse than Polnareff, to be honest.
It is, because Polnareff is like simply drawn, and then suddenly it's like...
And it was like this nonstop in the bath, and the... Ugh.
Yeah, it's bad.
Disgusting. Like, I literally took a couple hours off because I didn't want to see it. I did not.
You had to reassess your life choices.
I just I don't want to see this. I don't want to watch it on my PS4. I don't want this anywhere. So I watched it on Crunchyroll on my phone and just done with it.
But all of the Pillarmen are awesome, but Cars is a god.
Jesus.
So, unfortunately, just like everyone else in fucking Part 2, the characters don't get expanded enough.
They don't get expanded on
but
because
it's
like a tail end of season 1 for some fuck ass reason.
Yeah, who knows? The parts that are expanded on leave so much that's like so cool out in the open that I just love it. So Cars is 100,000 years old.
Yeah.
So Cars was vibing in Central America well before the Ice Age happened.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I desperately need like history of the Pillarmen, like what they were doing for these thousands of years.
That's never gonna happen, though.
It's of course never gonna happen. I can imagine it myself, and that's the first part.
Araki refuses to give us any information on anything.
But yeah, so the Pillarmen themselves, as a species, are an amazing concept.
Oh yeah.
Like they're a sentient species, humanoid sentient species, before humans have fully adapted to their existence yet, because humans exist at this point, and Pillarmen and humans coexisted perfectly fine. The Pillarmen did not eat humans.
Mm-hmm.
They only ate animals. They existed with them in the nighttime. Pillarmen leaders were guarded as gods by the humans. They would sacrifice people, and in the name of the Pillarmen, but the Pillarmen never ate anyone like that.
Yeah.
And the Pillarmen made the stone masks, so that connects back to Part 1. So the Pillarmen are the reason everything happened.
I mean, that's kind of fucked. I mean, the vampire mask.
Yes, but the just Cars made the masks, not the Pillarmen.
Oh, okay.
Cars was a scientist in the Pillarmen society.
Yeah.
Which is also really cool, because the term scientist for the Pillarmen is very different than for, like, humans. Like, their science is so incredibly different with the stone masks and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So Cars is making the stone masks.
Alchemy mixed with magic.
Exactly. And so people think that, like, Cars is how a Pillarmen is. No, Cars has been genetically enhancing himself for 100,000 years.
Yeah.
A normal Pillarmen is like Santana without the ribcage. Because all 4 of the Pillarmen in Part 2 were boosted by Cars' science and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the regular Pillarmen are extremely buff,
pretty
tough, can't be killed, but they don't have the wind powers, the fire, the wrist blades, all that kind of stuff.
The ribcage blades.
Ribcage blades and all that kind of stuff. And so Cars is building these things, and the Pillarmen are like, all right, it's time for you to stop.
Yeah.
And they go to war against Cars, and they try to stop him because Cars has finally realized his goal, and he's starting to kill people and absorb all these people and stuff and get more powerful. And the Pillarmen are like, what you've done is illegal. We're gonna kill you. And so Cars wipes out the whole species, except for people who followed him. He just killed his whole race. I mean, and that obviously tells you how evil that is. But also, it's also the tragedy of he wanted all the Pillarmen to join him.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't do it. They didn't realize it.
The tragedy is he's a fucking mongoloid. Like, it was given too much power. Too much unchecked power.
Too much unchecked power. Got a power complex. Wanted to rule the world.
Yeah.
And he wanted to take his race with him, but they didn't want to, so he killed them all.
He's like Zod if Zod was just a fucking freak for no reason.
Yes, that's a good comparison, actually.
Because Zod wants to... No matter what, Zod's priority is Krypton. Was always Krypton. It was always about Krypton and its people. Instead, not just for himself. Whereas Cars is like that, but really amped up and then went nuts for himself only.
Yeah, in the end, it went nuts crazy for himself. And so, I also love the fact that Cars has been after the Red Stone for thousands of years because he needs a power source for his mask. Like the other masks that he's been using to amp himself up aren't powerful enough to make him the ultimate life form. So he needs this red stone that's been guarded by the Hamon users. And, maybe someday in the future we get the badass trilogy of the Pillarmen working their way across the world fighting Hamon users in the ancient times.
Mm-hmm.
Like we get little bits. Like for example, we know that they fought the Chinese, like the Chinese army, and the Chinese pushed them back actually. And AC/DC personally knew and was friends with Sun Tzu.
Jesus Christ.
As well as this, we know that the Pillarmen fought Hamon users in Greece, ancient Greece, in that scene where Kars is trying to tell Wamo to not spare the guy's life. Remember that?
Ooh, yeah.
So we know that they're in ancient Greece. We could have seen Santana and Wamu as little baby kid Pillarmen learning from Kars and AC/DC. We could have expanded on Kars and AC/DC's friendship because they have been best friends, brothers, for 100,000 years. Well, 90,000 because AC/DC is only 90,000 years old.
Jesus Christ.
And we know they were incredibly close because Kars doesn't care about he doesn't care about anybody.
No, he doesn't care about
but when AC/DC dies, he goes sicko mode on him. He's like, I will not let AC/DC's death be in vain.
It's funny how long Wamo survived after him.
Yeah, exactly, right? And because Kars obviously cared for Wamu, and he respected Wamu,
until the end.
He wasn't the same with Wamu as he was with AC/DC. Like,
yeah, I mean, AC/DC wouldn't act like that. He wouldn't be honorable like that.
Yeah, exactly. Because AC/DC has that warrior spirit, but not like to the same honorable degree Wamu does. AC/DC is more about I want someone who's able to fight me, but I still want to beat their ass on the ground.
Existence.
Yeah, exactly. He respected Wamu and taught Wamu. He saw Wamu as his child, but he never saw him as the same level of as a child as a person does. Yeah, they were never equals. Whereas AC/DC and Kars and AC/DC viewed themselves as equals. Just that AC/DC knew that Kars was smarter and the better leader.
Comparing to how parents are seen as, like their parents are seen as loving their kids equally, eventually seeing them as equals, etc. But then compared to what parents actually are is not loving their kids equally and not never seeing them as equals, etc. That type of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
The reality versus how it should be.
And so Kars gets the Stone Mask in the end, becomes the ultimate life form. And obviously I love that, and I love the idea of ultimate Kars. He's a god, you love him.
Every animal, etc.
Every animal,
you
never
see him as an aquatic life form.
Which sucks. Oh man.
It was all
Shark Kars could have been badass. Also, something I kind of wish they did. Shars. Stop.
Shars.
So you know how he when he changes, there's that little gross liquidy sound as he changes his things.
Yeah.
I always had it for some reason an image in my mind of Kars' eyes changing to snake eyes to view in thermal imaging, and I always thought that'd be the coolest thing. Joseph was hiding from Kars, and Kars goes snake eyes, and you can see.
It would have been cool. Obviously, some of the details are too small for anime, but it would have been cool if even his ears could change to certain things, or his eyes, shit like that. Certain aspects of his body would change.
Besides, the real reason that Kars is the best ever is the fact that whenever he fucking enters anywhere, this shit plays.
Yep.
There's parts in every JoJo's thing where the music just makes me nut. Mm-hmm. And for me, the best one ever was Kars is in the volcano.
The only time
Joseph and Stroheim think they've won.
Yeah,
and because whenever the main thing happens, they up the volume for the music because usually the music's in the background.
Yeah.
But whenever something like that's going down, they up the volume of the music. That music is the main thing that's heard.
Also, that's the only time they've overused a theme that I haven't minded.
Yeah, because it's just amazing.
They use the theme all the time, even when Joseph did something godly.
Yeah, it's just I love it. But so Joseph is carrying Stroheim, and then Kars busts out of the volcano and cuts his arm off, and it's silent, and as soon as the arm hits the ground, just hits Kars' armor blows off the side of his face, and you see him smiling there. I fell back. I was like, oh, it's too good. I just can't.
I will say Kars is the only villain to surprise me at all.
How do you mean?
I hadn't read the manga at all, and I was really new to JoJo still, so I didn't expect him to become the ultimate life form.
You expected him to fail, but he succeeded?
Well, no, I thought he was dead then. I thought that was this was the end. He was beaten, and the rest is the aftermath episodes.
Yeah.
So I was surprised. So I was surprised when he became the ultimate life form because I didn't think that was going to happen at all. I was
when he turns over when he's dead on the ground, and he turns over, he's got the stone mask on. I was like, yes!
Which is weird to me because, I mean, there's no way he should have been able to do it. There's no way. Because, I mean, he was destroyed. He was done at that point.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why it threw me off. Because, like, I mean, obviously, I wasn't used to Iraqi's idea of, you know, mental gymnastics of things working when they shouldn't work. And I didn't really watch anime outside of, like, One Punch Man at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched My Hero and Jojo and One Punch Man, but yeah, I was just not used. I didn't expect that at all. And I think that's another reason that I was surprised, because I just didn't expect some mental fuckery for no fucking reason. But it was still really cool to see.
Yeah, and people don't talk about Cars' actual theme enough, because he has his own theme.
Yeah,
like he has Avalon.
It doesn't compare. I've kind of I've kind of said my idea, like how I feel about these characters with you as well. It's not my listing of it, so I don't want to be super redundant overall, and also, I just don't want to try to trim out like 30 minutes of content, because like having to edit this podcast sucks, because I can only post 60 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
But I want to post like 2 hours, but I can't. So trying to edit it down to 60 minutes is so fucking hard, especially on good days where we're like, anything we say is just fucking funny, or like there's something interesting to me that I want to keep. It's just like trying to find shit to cut is just impossible sometimes. But so alright, 7 people. Bottom of the line, I'm just gonna say part 7, just because I don't care about part 7. I don't care about part 8 either. Part 8 doesn't have a villain though, so I don't just automatically last for me. I don't give a fuck about it, and I probably never will. Yeah, I say that, but I mean, I honestly, because I say that, but I feel like I can get away with that for at least another decade or so, because it's not coming to anime anytime soon, at all. I mean, part 6 is barely getting there. Like, we might get part 6 next year, and then it'll be another fucking year or two at least before part 7 even starts at all. And then it's gonna be like I think weekly releases episodes, I guess. After production's done with, so it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be like maybe 5 years before part 7 even gets to anime. So I don't have to worry about that. So part 7, whatever the fuck his name is last.
Funny Valentine.
Funny Valentine, yeah. Fuck that motherfucker. 6, Poochie. I hate him. Fuck him. I don't really care. All right. I don't know anything about. I don't know about enough about his lines. From what you were saying, so I might look that up eventually about some quotes of his, but I don't like him. I honestly, I mean, I'm gonna hate anyone who's against Jotaro or who can kill Jotaro, because that's such bullshit reasoning that they let Jotaro die because of fucking Jolene, even though he could have saved the fucking universe instead. It just goes against his fucking being to me. Granted, I mean, of course he's gonna care about his daughter because he's PTSD because he lost his entire friend group. Except for Koichi, but they don't even. I mean, they only made him Jotaro's friend because he had nobody else left, because they decided to fucking murder fucking Kakumi. Which Kakumi part 4 Kakumi would have fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
That would have been cool as shit if he was in the fucking town with them. All right, part 5. I'm gonna say Diablo.
All right. So far we're in good order.
I don't like Diablo. His theme's got there. But he looks stupid. But yeah, like, aside from the way his stand looks, I don't really care. Like, his stand looks cool. I think the little head on top of his head, kind of like, it's such a fucking weird freak look that I like it. And also, I think it kind of symbolizes the multiple personalities in his head.
It does, yeah. That's why he has 2 stands.
Kind of cool. Wait, he's 2 stands?
Yeah, Epitaph and King Crimson.
Wait,
it's because he's literally 2 different people.
You glitched on the first part. What did you say?
He has Epitaph and King Crimson. That's why. His personality is literally so split that he's 2 different people.
I've only used Epitaph in Gmod, so I thought that was just ability of King Crimson.
No, it's its own stand. So like
did we see
Doppio has Epitaph.
Do we see it?
And Diablo, it's the little face.
Okay.
That little face is its own stand. Like, that's its own creature.
Oh, well, I didn't know that, because it seemed like he was... Because, Diablo told Doppio that he gave him parts of his stand. So I didn't understand and realize that it was...
Yeah, okay. So Doppio has Epitaph and Diavolo has
So the stands are just, like, merged together, because they're the same person.
They're the same person, but they're different people.
The same person, but not. Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
That's at least interesting, but they didn't really do much for his character overall. He was just kind of just a cunt to be a cunt. Like, he really self-righteous, like, oh, Luck's on my side, piece of shit motherfucker for no reason.
Yeah.
Which I just don't like the idea of, to be honest. Plus, you know, I'm just tired of time enemies at this point. None of the eye shit, none of that. I liked how powerful his stand was, but I didn't like the way it looked at all. I think it's one of the worst stand design, like one of the worst ghost stand designs I've ever seen.
Not a huge fan of it.
And Jojo, it's not good. I mean, I like the idea behind it. It's based off a diver because he was stuck in the ocean forever. But even that brings in, like, continuity problems because there should not be another coffin. There was one coffin. There's not two coffins.
There's one fucking coffin.
No, and that just pissed me off. That like I almost stopped watching the show because of that. I saw that, I was like, I don't want to watch this anymore. But then Jojo happened, and I was like, oh well, I'm gonna keep watching this until it's over with because I need to watch this because Jojo's a god.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I continued because the inconsistencies. There's so many inconsistencies that just bothers me so much.
I was putting it lightly, dude. That's like the fucking show.
I will say it is my favorite part, art style because they look like fucking gods. They look like gods. It has some of the best memes of the fucking show. As much as I hate how fucking badly Kakyoin got treated the entire part.
Oh my god, so stupid. He deserves so much fucking better.
He's still my favorite Jojo because he's a fucking god.
He is a god. He literally is fucking amazing.
And I like the way Stan looks. It actually looks really cool. It's interesting. It's like it's original design. It's not just another like random like fighter fuck.
Yeah.
And it's not ugly like fucking Jolene's or anyone past part 4. Like I'd say part 5 on. All the stands look fucking disgusting.
Yeah, they're not a.
They look.
I like the look. It's like for me because you just hate them all. But for me, it's like I usually in the part 3. I liked the look of every single stand exactly middle of the road. I never thought any stand was cool or any stand was bad. Mm-hmm. They all were middle. And then as soon as it goes past like part 5 and on, either I love that stand so much.
Part 3 had a lot of situational stands that weren't really fully like they were stands, but they weren't like they didn't look like your usual stand.
Like how Hot Pants' stand is literally a fucking spray bottle.
Jesus
and then
Christ.
It's not like it's fucking stupid. And then they changed it.
But I liked how, you know, I like the idea of this, because like there were very situational stands that weren't like, you know, like it wasn't like Star Platinum or like Golden Experience, etc., where they're like humanoid or they're like you can tell it's a creature, where some of them are just like they're like beings of like they're made of something. They're like there's some kind of like it looks like an animate object or there's some kind of like you don't really see them enough or see them in general.
Yeah.
Because it's the person's power that's the stand overall, which I thought was kind of interesting. But obviously it doesn't really work for every part because, you know, some parts are very like... Because they're on a quest, so it's like you can be a fucking like a cunt and like a cunt stone on the road and that works. But whereas like if you're just chilling doing nothing in a town, then you kind of can't, it doesn't really work like that.
No, yeah.
I like the character and I like his... I like the idea of his motivations and shit, and he's so fucked. Like he's just... like beyond like fucked in terms of like once he becomes an adult he gets super fucking powerful and I just like that he's pure evil whereas everyone else is like some people are just trying to copy like half the villains are trying to copy Dio, the other half of the villains are just like their own selfless motivations that aren't even really, some of them are like they're evil but they're not to an extent.
Yeah.
Whereas Dio's just like, I will fucking murder your dog for looking at me. Like, Jesus, like this nigga is a fucking beast, and he's also like just incredibly smart and shit. And I like the whole like freezing them so their fucking blood can't circulate, so they can't use their hormone. Shit was genius. Shit was amazing.
That's true.
And I thought it was interesting, like. I feel like him and Jonathan were such a whole like one side of the coin, the other side of the coin type situation. But I always thought it was interesting that Jonathan understood more about Dio than Dio really understood about Jonathan. Mm-hmm. I feel like it had to be like that, because otherwise, if Jonathan knew all that, if Dio understood Jonathan enough, I feel like he wouldn't hate him as much as he does.
No, he wouldn't. Yeah.
So he had to have that misunderstanding. But it was always really interesting because like even at the end, Jonathan tried to fucking Jonathan gave him his dead body to try to like turn him good, try to like one last step of thinking like he still has hope. Because Jonathan's kind of naive when it comes to good and bad. But he's the epitome of evil. He's a fucking god. And I hate dogs, so
So it works out because he fucking beat the shit out of him.
Cooked that fucking dog. That was so fucked. That was just so funny.
Throwing it in the furnace.
Yeah, I did not expect that. But I mean, Dio like the reason I really got into because like Jonathan, like obviously it takes him a few episodes to really become anything worthwhile.
Yeah.
He's kind of just a whiny bitch for a few episodes, like until he becomes an adult. And then then he's a god, and then like Dio was like this like the first few episodes that I was kind of trying to see if I wanted to even watch the show. Dio is what got me kind of interested in from the start. And then from there, obviously, I've watched every fucking episode that's on the air, except for the .5 episodes. I hate those. Like the .5 from part 5, where I kind of just recap shit for no fucking reason. Like these lost episodes that are just recaps of fucking episodes that already happened.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
That's a fair...
It just feels weird to me though to put like such a small part villain on such a high esteem, but I can't put Kira at first. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work for me. Kira died like such a bitch. I was glad to see Jojo just beat his fucking ass though. It's fucking amazing.
I love both times of pizza.
Oh yeah, he just destroyed this nigga. It's funny though, 'cause I did like part 4 in terms of like every single villain was like, I don't want to fuck with Jojo. Like, get me away from this motherfucker. I do not want to fight that. That was fucking amazing. Cause already like part 3, like Jojo's reputation hadn't preceded him yet. So for the most part, they were like, "Oh, I'm gonna kick your ass," and then they get fucking destroyed. They get fucking annihilated. So after that, fucking understand, like, I'm not fighting him. He's a fucking freak. Like, I will die. Or get retired.
Motherfucker. I'm getting off to eat food.
God damn it. I knew you were fucking, like, partially awake or half asleep.
I need food. I'm dying. My stomach is gonna blow up.
Didn't you just eat?
I ate a steak, but it wasn't enough because it was, like, leftovers. Motherfucker. You can murder my fucking body.
You tell if he was done shitting that he was fucking tired or hungry. Alright, well, that's podcast number 8. Probably go up Tuesday like usual. Depending on if we'll edit because I'm a lazy piece of shit.